Hey, good morning, everybody. Namaste. A few things to cover. Last time I talked about thinking, and I had promised Linda to talk more about rules. And I wanted to clear some things up about rules. It might not have been. But first of all, I want to start off with a little bit of wisdom that one of the differences between being awake and being still in a slumber, a deep slumber, a light slumber, wherever you are along your trajectory, one of the things, hey, you! One of the things that, for me, this is very obvious, and it might not be, it's something for you to think about when your turn comes. And it seems pretty obvious, but people are what they are. One experiences people as they are. One, me, the awakened one, the one that's immersed in the oneness, that doesn't see separation and division. People are what they are. And that's how we experience them. I experience you exactly how you are. Not what you want to, not what you think you are, not what you want other people to think you are, but who you are. That's how I see everyone. And when I say everyone, I'm including myself because we're all, everyone is one. And sometimes I have to put a little disclaimer, a little something. I have to write something that that maybe isn't as fun to think about, but we need it. We need to think about it. I'm going to talk about this. I've talked about it before. The dark night of the soul. When we're talking about commitment. This is a commitment that you have to make. Literally, you have to be willing to die to awaken. That's why I have 6 followers or 10 followers or 20 followers compared to somebody that talks about video games or something else. An artist, a guy that teaches painting at home. 6 million followers. So I picked the road less traveled and the road less popular, but that's just how it is. And one of the things that I've documented a lot that I experience is what people call it the dark night of the soul, the death of the ego, mourning. It's like a physical death. It's no different than mourning. In fact, that which is nearest and dearest to you is your ego. And when it's time for it to watch it die, to work towards its death, to contribute to its death. Dark night of the soul. It's darkest just before the dawn, right? And the question is, does everyone have this? And this is the downside, but this is the part that you have to be willing to die. And that's just when I'm talking about my job now, but this Sybil's job for me was to take me to the edge of the precipice, to the edge of the cliff and say jump, and then turn around and walk away. Because to get to the point of taking you to that precipice, the teacher is 100% convinced, he knows that it's your time now. The rest is up to you. What you do is of really little concern to him. He's done what he's meant, everything that he can for you. If he is brought you to that point of understanding through his example, through his inshin, heart to heart, even to a certain extent to the spoken word, even though that's just to get a general idea of things. The answer is you have a dark night of the soul. DNOTS, dark night of the soul, as part of your spiritual awakening and ascension. This DNOTS tears down your 3D constructed ego to allow through the information and enlightenment that accompanies awakening and ascension. So it tears down this ego. Dark night of the soul is usually triggered by some sort of stressful, emotional, spiritual experience, usually at the hands of someone special, but sometimes not. Not everyone endures dark night of the soul. It usually occurs for people who are both sufficiently evolved spiritually to allow to trigger it. You should not feel deprived for not having experienced this. It's an experience that needs to occur only when someone is ready for it, because it's so traumatic. Think of the deepest, darkest depression, one which seems to destroy you so there is nothing left of you to hang on to. That's the point. Destroy you to the point where there's nothing left for you to hang on. And you have to start from scratch and rebuild yourself. I've mentioned many times waking up as an infant after I jumped off the cliff, waking up as infant helpless on a dirty sidewalk. This is how I experienced it. And you start from scratch and rebuild yourself. The medical, okay, I'm not going to talk about what the medical, but this is spiritual. It happens. Okay. And there was something else. And this is something a little bit about a follower. It's like a little bit about, do you need a teacher? Do you not need a teacher? This is one guy's take. This is Brian Jones, who I see on Quora, and I like him. He's in the lineage of Ramanana Maharishi, and there's a newest that, and I'm not up onto all the. And the question is, who supported your spiritual development and how? And that's what I'm doing for you. And how I do it is by my example, by living it, by sharing it, by being candid, by keeping in contact with you. Every person, and this is, every person in my life is the face of God. Each persona contributes to my own in some way. You say supported, past tense. I'm not done. I'm still growing, evolving, changing. I am sure my life's close. I will have met every single, at my life's close, before I pass, I will meet every single person that I was supposed to. Our journey is a we more than a me. Thank you, Brian. So I just like to share that. No rules, Linda. I remember to say, no rules. I hate rules. I don't follow rules. Never have followed rules. But what I'm neglecting to say is that I've led a very disciplined life. 33 years of rigorous Zen training. Okay, in a Zendo. In a strict sense of the word. And there's lots of rules. And there's rules of decorum and like how you approach. And these rules I followed because it was out of respect. Okay? It's out of respect. But what I wanted to say to you is I live a very self-disciplined, and this I have lots of personal rules. So I forgot to distinguish from you rules from the outside. I don't give a hooey about. Personal rules, and that includes the ones of my attitude of going to the Zendo and my respect for the Roshis, the teachers, and follow their, wear a gi, wear a white belt, practice Chao Dao, practice Kyushu, the archery, practice Zen walking. All of those had rules, but they were absorbed into my personal rules. So it's a very disciplined, still live a very disciplined life. And discipline is maintained, supported, directed by rules. But these are my rules, inner directed from me, and I don't impose them on anyone else. And that's what I was really talking about. So yes, Linda, I have strict rules, okay? My rules. Not for you, not for anybody else. Didn't come from an outside source. Occasionally I've had to assume them out of respect. Kapuna is what we call elders. Duber, if you're there, you'll know. Kapunas, Rainer, if you're there. Kapunas are elders in the Hawaiian tradition, and I have this respect for my elders. You know, I'll leave this. No matter if you started life as stupid as a rock, if you live to 60, 70, 80, 90, guess what? You've learned something. You've become wise. Just by surviving life. So it's about not what you're gifted with, it's about what you experience. Okay? Namaste. A little bit shorter, just under 12 minutes.